In this lesson, we're going to create a basic HDR lighting setup for our scene. Now, at the moment, there's no lights in the scene whatsoever. If I open up Arnold and I come here to the Arnold render view, if I just take this and I dock this here to the side, let me just close this down. Now, if I click render, you're going to see that Arnold's going to render the scene, but the result will be black because there's just quite literally no light to illuminate any of the objects. Now, you may also notice that Arnold begins creating a .tx file when you start rendering, particularly for the first time. Now, TX files are optimized versions, right, of your texture maps. And they contain different resolution versions of the same texture, which allows Arnold to use the most appropriate resolution based on how close an object is to the camera. Now, even though TX files are often larger, they help the Arnold renderer to render textures more efficiently. So it's very important that it is created, and it's very important that we are obviously also using them whenever we are rendering. So let's just get back to the actual lighting of our scene over here. So to light the scene, let's come over here to Arnold. Let's go to lights, and I'm going to start by dropping down a Skydome light. And as soon as I do that, you're going to see that my renderer updates automatically. And thankfully we can actually start to see some stuff. So it creates a dome light, but the problem is that this dome light, it's just emitting this white uniform light. It looks very uninteresting, and it does not look realistic at all. But with the Skydome light selected, we can come over here to the attribute editor and we can click on the checkerboard icon next to the color. If you do that, this little window is going to pop up. And if you select File, then load in an HDR. Now I've got one saved in an HDR subfolder inside of my source images. And I've actually got two options here. This one's called Photo Studio, and this one over here is called Brown_Photo Studio. And you'll see that both of these maps, they similar in the sense that they're very neutral, which is going to be the best route to take when lighting your scene for displaying things like textures, in which we're wanting to see the color of those textures most accurately. The one that I'm actually more partial to is this Brown_Photo Studio, because I do quite like the little hints of not just natural light, but also natural colors that this has. I feel as though it's not going to influence the scene too much. Whereas Photo Studio over here, this just feels a little bit too drab for my liking. So again, I'm going to select this Brown_Photo Studio and I'm going to say open. Now, once the HDR is loaded, just please make sure the color space is set correctly. You'll see for an HDR, we actually don't want to be using RAW. Instead, what we want to use is Scene Linear Rec. 709 sRGB. And that gives Arnold the correct interpretation of the lighting information. Now, when we render the scene, hopefully it should no longer be appearing black on your side. Once again, this HDR, it's giving us more of a realistic lighting result, and allows us to actually start evaluating the materials more accurately, more thoroughly. So in the next video, we're going to look at how the render settings came up in order to optimize your render to produce something that's clean as well as high quality end result.